Hello everyone and welcome back in my studio. Those of you who have been following me on Instagram and Facebook for a while now might know that I am writing a children's book, and based on a story I'm making a series of 6 very big paintings for which I'm using one or more models. Now usually when I paint smaller works, I just make a composition sketch beforehand and then I start painting. But because these are very big works, I can't afford to make just a little sketch. I have to make more sketches and to prepare very well before starting with the big canvas. Today I want to show you the painting process of this sketch, which I made in approximately 2 hours, I think. But before we start with the demo, I want to show you something else, which is a sketch I've drawn from imagination before starting with this one. And it was just to capture a certain mood and to make important decisions about the placing of the characters. So here it is. Now you see this is the apple orchard I want to paint on a big canvas, and this is the main character of my book. She's holding a candle, and I have already painted her a few times holding that candle, so now I know what light she has in her face. And here at the bottom of the page you see that I have drawn the characters from my book in different positions. So I finally decided not to place this character in my composition, but to keep my main character and make her hold a mirror. And I have already bought the mirror. It arrived today. It is a very nice antique Italian one, and you will see it in the bigger painting once it's finished. So you might already have seen it. I usually paint from life, but I had set my mind on using a certain old apple orchard as a background. It is an apple orchard near the place where I live, but it was very difficult for me to paint there. I love painting en plein air, but this time I didn't, and I'm afraid I had to use a photograph, which I never do, but this time I just had to. So this is the reference photograph I've been using, and I've loosely based my sketch on it. Here there is a lot more colors, which you will see in the final pictures. And here you see my main character holding a candle and the mirror. Now it doesn't look quite well yet because I had to use only my imagination, but this is just to have an idea of how the painting should look like, more or less. I was mainly focusing on capturing the right mood in the apple orchard and finding the right colors. So I think that that we just have to start, right? Okay, let's start. Here you see me tracing the frame first, as I always do. I'm choosing a horizontal frame that is a bit more elongated than the one of the reference photograph I'm using. And I'm just starting to draw the main branches and the figure in front of the tree. And you'll see that right now I'm placing her there, but afterwards I chose to move her a bit to the left because I thought it looked weird the way she was holding the mirror just in front of the tree. So yeah, because she was not really there, of course, in my model. And having to draw her, paint her from imagination is quite hard, and well, that means that I won't make the right choices right away. So usually when I'm painting, I start by placing the most vibrant colors, painting the lighter ones and the darkest ones. But in this case, I'm doing it differently. Because if I would choose to paint the darkest colors first, which are of the branches of the trees, then I would have to paint all the green of the leaves between the branches, and that would be very difficult. So right now I'm just creating an atmosphere of greens and trying to get that light of the sky shining through the leaves by using a kind of dry brush technique, as you can see. And just looking for all the different kinds of green that are present in the photograph, and well, exaggerating them a bit because I want to have more color. It's really a first for me because I've never painted a wood or an orchard before. Usually when I paint plein air, it's rocks or a wide landscape and not a dark wood like this one. So I wouldn't call it a struggle, but it was an adventure. Here you see me painting the cooler leaves, which are cool because the bluish sky is reflecting on them. And by adding this blue color to my color composition, I will create a certain mood, which is a nice contrast with the warm colors I'll be adding in the end, the colors of created by the candle that the model is holding. And as you can see, I've already added a bit of purple as well. And right now I'm adding the dark branches, which are very important in the composition. And I'm still using a very big brush, so I won't be tempted to get into detail quite yet. The purple I've painted before is going to be added in more parts of the painting in the form of the light on the branches. And as you can see, I'm not adding purple as an extra color, but I've also placed some spots of blue in order to make the painting more rich. So in the reference photograph, those branches were all kind of grey, but I like my painting to be colorful. And here I'm paying attention to the values, making sure that the tree in front of the painting is darker than the ones in the back. I do want an illusion of space, obviously. So here I must be careful not to overdo the branches. They are all tangled in the photograph, but as I don't have a very fine brush and this must remain a sketch, I don't have to add, I mustn't add too many branches. So I'm paying attention to that. And the figure, I know it looks a bit clumsy the way I added her there, and I hope that it will look better in the final work, as I will have my model posing for me, and I will pay more time and attention to the colors of her holding the candle, because right now I think that I am adding way too strong orange hues, and they they don't really resonate in the rest of the painting. So either way, I must make sure those hues are not as strong, or I must incorporate them in the rest of the background. I'm not quite sure what I should do. Obviously, I could add some apples in the trees, as it is an apple orchard, and I could give them more orange or red colors, but I don't know if that would be beneficial to the final result. So here you have it, a very quick sketch, and you see that I've already placed the contour of her head where it should be moved towards. So some close-ups where you can see the big paint layers and the brush strokes. I hope you found it enjoyable to watch, and I hope to see you next time, maybe with a start of the big canvas. Bye!